It turns out that Boris's men have kidnapped Sasha and Daimel. Boris is Dragan's longtime rival, and their feud runs deep. Years ago, Dragan stole Boris's girlfriend, and Boris retaliated in the most horrifying way, nailing her decapitated torso to Dragan's front door. Unlike the hot-headed Dragan, Boris is calm and calculating, which makes him even more terrifying. When Boris invites them to eat, Daimel decides to insult the Russian food. To his surprise, Boris doesn't get angry. Instead, Boris gets straight to the point and demands to know where Dragan is, making it clear that Dragan will pay for the death of his henchman. Daimel warns Boris that someone is trying to frame him and provoke a turf war. He insists that Dragan's only goal is to find the traitor so both he and Boris can deal with them together. Boris gives them until Monday to find the traitor and lets them go. Daimel returns home and makes Katharina happy by handing her an acceptance letter for Emily's daycare. Later, his office calls, asking him to return his company car. Daimel tells them to come collect it themselves. Daimel finally tells Katharina he's quit his job and will have more time for the family. She's thrilled and suggests they take Emily to the zoo on Saturday. At the police station, Eggman and Mahler discuss how the finger was found near Dragan's lake house. They decide to investigate further. Meanwhile, an intern from the office arrives outside Demel's building to collect the car. Just as she approaches it, the car suddenly explodes. The blast leaves both her and Daimel shaken. Daimel panics, realizing someone is trying to kill him. He uses Breitner's relaxation techniques and takes a bath. Not long after, Eggman shows up at his apartment, asking questions about Dragan's whereabouts. Daimel plays it cool and gives nothing away, but it's clear Eggman is starting to suspect him. On her way out, she notices the daycare acceptance letter. Realizing how much danger his family is in, Daimel cancels the planned zoo trip. He asks Sasha for help finding whoever is trying to kill him. Sasha introduces him to Paula and Pepe, who soon capture someone named Multi, a worker for Tony. They had tracked him down after Daimel tipped them off about the Romanian grenade used in the attacks. Under torturing, Multi spills the truth. He reveals that Tony lured Dragan to the parking lot with plans to kill him, Igor, and Sasha, then pin the blame on Boris. Tony's ultimate goal was to take control of the cartel, with Murat as his second-in-command. However, the school bus full of students filming disrupted the plan. Tony discovered Murat was planning to come clean. Which is why Murat had to die. He admits that Tony ordered him to kill both Murat and Daimel at the game reserve. When Sasha asks how Tony knew about Murat's meeting with Daimel, Multi reveals it's Mahler who had been bugging Murat's phone for Tony. Multi also admits that Tony ordered the grenade attack on Ms. Bregenz's house and the car bombing to eliminate Daimel. After the interrogation, Daimel leaves, only to find Boris waiting for him outside in a car. Boris orders him to get in and demands that Daimel lead him to Dragan. He gives him 3 days to deliver. Feeling trapped and overwhelmed, Daimel can't help but wish he had let Dragan kill him in the first place. Daimel takes a walk in the woods to clear his head. As he walks, he thinks about his problems and wonders if killing both Boris and Tony would finally end his troubles. He also thinks about Eggman and starts to question how much she knows about his secret. In his imagination, she tells him to turn himself in, but he denies it. When she says he'll have to kill her instead, he replies that he can't. Later, Daimel meets Mahler. Since Mahler once threatened Emily, Daimel decides he can kill him without guilt. While walking, a drone suddenly chases him, but Daimel knocks it out of the sky with a stick. A man runs out of the trees, upset, saying the drone was a gift for his son. Daimel offers to pay for the damage but warns the man to be more careful next time. Back at his apartment, Daimel begins crafting fake orders from Dragan, using newspapers and Dragan's thumbprint to make it seem authentic. He calls Sasha, telling him that Dragan wants a meeting with everyone, including Tony. Meanwhile, Muller visits Tony and shows him a photo of Dragan's severed finger. The meeting takes place at the kindergarten, where Dragan's top people gather: Walter, an ex-soldier who handles arms deals, Stanislav, the smuggler, Carla, who runs the brothel, Tony, and Sasha. They all sit awkwardly around a child-sized table. At the same time, Eggman and Mahler are at the lake house, discussing how they haven't found Dragan's body yet. Eggman suggests bringing in divers to search the lake. Back at the school, Daimel hands out newspapers to Dragan's crew. Each paper contains specific orders from Dragan. He has everyone read their instructions aloud, keeping the charade alive. Suddenly, Tony interrupts the meeting. Pulling out the photo of Dragan's severed finger, Tony claims this proves Dragan is dead and accuses Daimel of killing him. Daimel denies it, saying the finger is fake and insisting that Dragan staged his own death to escape police attention. Tony loses his temper and tries to attack Daimel, but the others stop him. Sasha then steps in, claiming he spoke to Dragan that morning and that Dragan wants them to trust Daimel as their temporary leader. He adds that Daimel is far more reliable than someone reckless like Tony. Furious, Tony storms out. Meanwhile, Eggman visits Katarina's house to question Emily about her outing with her father. Katarina initially refuses to let her, but she eventually changes her mind. After Tony leaves the meeting, Daimel shows the group a video of the captured Malty confessing that Tony is behind everything. The group wants to kill Tony immediately, but Daimel convinces them to let Boris handle it instead. As Eggman questions Emily, the little girl innocently mentions that her dad had a lot of work in the car trunk but left it while they played together. Back at the kindergarten, Sasha tells Daimel he doesn't want to know what really happened to Dragan. However, he admits he prefers Daimel's leadership style to Tony's. Just as Daimel starts to feel like things are finally falling into place, he returns to his apartment to find Tony waiting for him, holding Dragan's fake thumb. Tony confronts Daimel, demanding answer about Dragan whereabout. Daimel claims it was Dragan's idea so he could forge signatures when necessary. Tony doesn't believe him and asks how Dragan has been sending orders. Daimel lies, saying Dragan calls him. Frustrated, Tony insists they wait for a call, but Daimel says it could take days and tries to leave. Tony punches him, knocking him unconscious. When Daimel wakes up, he's tied up and gagged. Staying calm, he uses Siri to call Sasha. After several attempts, he succeeds. Sasha, who is busy planning the kindergarten's menu, answers. Daimel begs him to come to his rescue immediately. Tony returns, ready to kill Daimel, tired of waiting for Dragan's call. Just as Tony puts a knife to Daimel's throat, Sasha arrives, pointing a gun at Tony. The tense standoff is interrupted by a housekeeper who runs away, likely to alert the police. Tony decides against killing Daimel for now and leaves. Sasha unties him, and Daimel realizes it's time to take bold action to eliminate Tony and his allies. Daimel's first target is Mahler. Knowing Mahler has been bugging his phone, he sets a trap. Sasha calls Daimel, pretending to reveal that Tony is having an affair with Mahler's girlfriend. Sasha even provides a fake hotel name and room number. Mahler, unable to reach his girlfriend by phone, rushes to the hotel. Hearing noises from the designated room, he shoots the door open, only to find Paula and Pepe in bed instead of Tony and his girlfriend. Sasha appears and confronts Mahler, pointing out that he just illegally discharged his weapon at two innocent hotel guests. Sasha records everything and threatens to hand it over to the police chief unless Mahler cooperates. Under pressure, Mahler calls Tony and tells him Malty has been captured and has revealed everything about Tony's plans. Tony rushes to the location. He finds Malty in the room and kills him. Daimel and his team watch everything unfold on a security camera. Then lock Tony in the same room where Malty's body lies. Daimel contacts Boris to inform him that he's captured the traitor, Tony, and plans to deliver him. Meanwhile, Eggman discovers Dragan's belt buckle in the lake and tries to contact Mahler, but he's unreachable. Mahler is being transported in his car, which is hauled by a truck to a new location, his girlfriend's father's house. There, Mahler is instructed to propose to his girlfriend, holding flowers and booze. But as he crosses the road to approach the house, he's shoved in front of a vehicle and killed. Eggman, now suspicious, arranges to meet Daimel at the kindergarten. She questions him about the belt buckle found in the lake. But Daimel dismisses it, claiming it's a mass-produced item. He even shamelessly offers her a spot for her child at the kindergarten. That night, Daimel and his crew drug Tony and prepare him as per Boris's request, complete with an apple in his mouth. At the meeting point, they bring Tony out of the car and attach a grenade to his underwear. Moments later, Tony explodes. A drone, flown by Sasha from a hidden spot, hovers over the scene. It's marked with a police sticker, causing Boris to panic. One of his men shoots it down on Boris's orders. Daimel seizes the opportunity, convincing Boris to hide in his car trunk so he can take him to Dragan's supposed hideout. Boris reluctantly agrees, but like Dragan before him, he meets a grim fate. Daimel now has another set of fingers and control over a second gang. Meanwhile, Eggman learns about Mahler's death. His body was found in Poland. On her desk, she notices a plush parrot found at the lake. Accidentally pressing a button on the toy, she hears Demel's chilling confession, "I chopped up my client."
Thank you for watching. Subscribe and like for more videos like this.